Ladies, we're here with Michael Hampton, director of the NSCA-NSSA, and we want to learn a little bit more about World English, and that's what's taking place here today.
Well, the World English is a joint partnership between the National Sporting Clays Association and the CPSA out of England. It's an event that has annually. It goes from England to the United States and back and forth each year, and we're fortunate here this year to be hosting in the United States. We like to call it Team USA Takes on the World. We've got about 675 participants from all over the United States and other countries. We've got 13 countries represented, and this is an event where there's individual awards, but there's also a team awards. So everybody would like to take home the gold as a team member and also as an individual. It's a very prestigious event. We're very fortunate to be hosting it in San Antonio always, but we're always looking at the possibilities of this potentially moving to other clubs in the United States, plus other clubs in England.
Oh, yeah, very good. Well, then, this might also be a good opportunity to ask Michael the big question, the reason why we're here. Why are the Brits always winning this?
Well, they've got a history with sporting. We originally brought English sporting, that's why it's called English sporting, over to the United States many, many years ago. And when we started the NSCA in the late 80s, there was sporting going on prior to that. But they've got kind of a heads up, and they're a little bit more veterans. But on an annual basis, though, we're holding our own, and we've many times have taken home the gold. So it'll be pretty hard to beat. We've got a lot of champions. George Digweed being #1. Everybody knows he's the top dog on the top of the hill, and he's pretty hard to knock off. But every once in a while, you might sneak up on him and get him.
Well, there's some other categories, and there can be some Americans who win that one.
Yes, we're fortunate to have. We always have classes and we have concurrence. So we've got our ladies and our veterans and our super veteran teams that are competing against other teams from other countries. But like I said, there's also going to be a lady champion. We'll have a junior champion. We'll have a veteran champion. So any and all ages, somebody will be wearing the gold at the end of this week. And there'll also be team members that will be wearing the gold and being proud to represent the United States, hopefully in many of those gold medalists.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michael. I certainly appreciate that. We're going out to the field now to look at some of this. We're still continuing to find out why are the Brits always winning this, and we're going to find the Americans who are going to win in one category or another. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ed Solomons from Leicestershire, England, and you're watching American Trigger Sports Network TV.
We are at the 5 stand, and I have a part of the British contingency, and I just want to first tell us what your name is.
Luke Elliott.
Where are you from, Luke?
Hampshire in England.
In Hampshire. And you, sir?
Yeah, we're from Portsmouth in England.
Portsmouth. Yeah, I know where Portsmouth is.
Yeah, Portsmouth the same for me as well.
Portsmouth's the same for you. Okay. Well, here's what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out why it is that the Brits come over and they win this event every single year. What's the secret here? What are you guys doing that the Americans aren't?
Not a lot, really. We're just practicing like they would here. I wouldn't say we're doing anything else. I think the reason why we come over here as well because of the weather.
Okay. Well, that's an honest answer. Is there any secret here?
Well, where we come from, we've got 3 or 4 shoots in a very small area. So we can shoot different targets at different places and shoot a variation of targets. I think over here you've got one shoot and then you've got to go a long distance before you shoot actually another shoot. But we have a bit of advantage in that way. We shoot different targets at different shoots, fairly often, to be honest, as well. So I think that might be maybe a bit of help on our behalf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That might be part of the secret. Okay. Any ideas besides that?
Yeah, I think the amount of competitions we shoot in a weekend, it makes you more competition hardened. Instead of coming here once every month or once every 2 months, we're shooting competitions 3. Some people shoot 3 or 4 one day in the UK because it's a smaller place. You can get around them a lot quicker and easier. So you're more competition hardened. So when you come here, there's another competition really.
Okay.
But I am shooting bad, I've got to say. Don't look at my score.
No. You know what I did notice? I noticed that every one of you hit the tower shot. So I kind of want to think that a lot of the bird shooting you do at home, you're because I have been in a driven bird shoot. I mean, every one of you hit that. Nobody missed that target. So that's some advantage, huh?
Yeah, I suppose so. Most of our targets over our side are all in the air. It's not all of them. You get occasional rabbit, occasional incomer, but some of them are mostly in the air. So we've got more of an advantage there, I suppose.
Now, does anybody know what George Digweed's secret is? What is it?
Meat pies.
Meat pies. I know what that is. British beef. Right. What do you think his secret is?
He's just a natural. You have to accept it. In a sport, he's just a natural. He's just brilliant for so many years. He just takes it out and he can shoot anything, absolutely anything.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, yeah, like I say, I think he's just a machine at what he does. He just down, out. He can hit anything. He's just unbelievable.
All right, well, there's a good answer from 3 of the Brits, and they do it more often. They're shooting maybe every week somewhere, and that's very true. We have to drive longer distances. Maybe we're not shooting as much. We're going to follow that idea up, though, and see what other opinions we get. We'll be right back. How's the shooting going today?
It's going good. It's a little windy out here. But, everybody's having a good time. It's windy for everybody. Yesterday, they said this course shot a little easier because it wasn't very windy. But, hey, when you got this kind of weather in San Antonio, not too hot, take it all day long.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to complain about the weather.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But, yeah, no, it's a good course. Not real repetitive. A lot of times they'll throw a lot of quartering away stuff, but this time they didn't. Usually they have to throw a lot of quartering away because of the land that they've got here. But, they threw a lot of crossers like this, a big crosser here and crosser from the left. And, they've done a real good job with setting it up.
Yeah, well, I think they took your advice because you told them once that they were doing too many of that.
Well, sometimes they throw too many crossers. And, it's easy to get set up in that. Sometimes with the terrain this way, it's just, they don't have a lot of open areas. And this is one of the big open areas right here.
Okay, let me ask you the big question. Big question is, how come the Brits always win this?
Well, the British are a little bit more conditioned for harder shots, meaning, over in England, they go to shoots and they all live in about the same area. So every weekend they're competing against the same big dogs every weekend. And, you go to a shoot and there's 50 guys there and there's about 8 or 10, 12 of them ex-world champions, okay? And another thing, they're not afraid to throw hard stuff, okay? Over here, everybody wants to get their brand-new shotgun, this $25,000 gun and their big Rolex watch, and they want to shoot targets and they want to hit them, okay? And if they don't hit them, they leave and don't come back. Well, over there, they don't really care if you come back. They don't care if you come back or not. So they are more conditioned for these type of shots, okay? And, it's windy over in England all the time. I mean, why do you think they win on the golf tour, on the PGA Tour? They're playing the wind all the time. And
lousy weather.
And they're a lousy weather, and they're a little bit more conditioned for it. That's why they beat a lot of the, the American guys. And they're just very talented. I mean, guys like Richard Falls and Ben Huswaite and George Digweed and all those guys, I mean, they've been doing it a long time, and they're very good at it.
Well, you know, you're the best threat we have for them. So you going to give them something? You going to run for their money?
Hey, man, I didn't come here to try to miss them. I mean, I didn't come here to try to miss them. But you know, this wind, man. Sometimes you pull the trigger and you think, man, that looks perfect, and it doesn't break.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, I'm gonna give them heck. I'm gonna do the best I can. That's what matters.
All right, that's what matters. You're absolutely right. And I'll see you at Texas State.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for talking to us, Bobby. Appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Hi, my name is Lori Fowler, and you're watching the American Trigger Sports Network TV show.
Okay, shooters, here we are. This is the second most popular place to be during World English, and that's where everybody comes to eat. So we're going to come through here and we're going to get some ideas and some opinions from some of the shooters. Tell us where you're from.
Sweden.
Sweden?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, tell us your name.
Anna and Roger.
Roger, and
Jarnal.
Say it again.
Jarnal.
Okay. All right. Tell me why you think the British are winning each and every time at English sporting.
They have good, competitors. They have good quality in every competition that they have.
Okay. All right. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think they have a lot of variety on their targets, and they have a good competition amongst the shooters.
Well, I want to thank you for coming over. Okay, let's grab this guy right here. He looks right at me. Look in the camera. Tell us your name, where you're from.
Kevin McMillan from Amarillo, Texas.
Okay, a Texas guy. All right, here's a good question for a Texas guy. How come these Brits always win this?
That's a good question. Maybe they practice on harder targets than we do. I don't know.
You think?
Could be.
Okay. All right. Thank you for taking a minute.
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's a couple of fellas over here. Here's a man right here. He has a very serious look on his face and a parazzi.
That's because he's hungry.
Yeah. Tell us your name, where you're from.
Larry Friedman, and from Maryland.
Maryland. Oh, that was a good drive, huh?
Yeah, it was. I actually hitchhiked all the way across country.
Well, we know that's probably not true. Any guy that owns a parazzi is not hitchhiking.
That's right. Thank you very much. Yep.
Okay, tell us why you think the Brits are winning every time they have English sporting clays.
Because they send more of them here than we do.
Okay, there's a good answer. Go ahead and eat. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate you taking the time. Bill, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, I'm good. Glad to see you. How's the shooting going so far?
A little slow, but we're getting there. We'll be there for the lane.
Yeah, I know. It takes you a while to kick in, but when you get going, hey, Bill, watch out for Bill McGuire. Hey, let me ask you this, Bill. How come the Brits always win this?
They better than we are.
Oh, my God. He said it. He actually admitted it.
We're going to try to change that.
All right, good. Go out there and shoot. Good to see you, Bill.
Okay, good to see you.
Okay, let's see. Hey, look at this pad over here. Pat, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Yeah, are you? Okay. All right. How's you shooting so far?
I shot good in the prelim.
Did you?
And I'm trying to forget about the other ones.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you use P-test?
Yep.
5-stand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you've done it all so far. You're just waiting for the real game to start.
That's correct. Yep.
All right. Tell me why the Brits always win this.
Well, why do they always win it? They've got a lot more experience, I think, in shooting in world championship events. I think we're certainly getting a whole lot stronger, though. You look at some of the scores on the leaderboard so far at this shoot, and I think it's bearing out that the Americans are getting a little bit tougher in sporting clays.
Okay, good. We'll go over to the scoreboard and we'll just check that out. But I can assure you that if Pat said that we're doing good over there, I'm sure that we are doing good. Thanks, Pat.
I think there's an American on the top in every event so far. So.
Ooh, an American on top, and let's run over quick. Thanks, Pat. Good talking to you. What's your name, sir?
Danny Fisher.
Where are you from, Danny?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, he's a San Antonio guy. Should have known that by looking at the hat, actually. It kind of tells us where he's from. How's your shooting going so far?
I'm satisfied. I really am.
How many times you been to World English?
First time.
First time. Okay. You know the British pretty much dominate this. Why?
I guess because they're English.
Oh, I guess because they're English. Well, that was the simplest answer I got. Thanks for talking to us. Okay. Tell us your name, sir.
Leocadio Villarreal.
Okay, tell us how many times have you been here?
This is my second time.
Second time? Okay, how's your shooting so far?
Good for my average.
Good yes. For your average. Where are you from in Mexico?
Monterrey, Mexico.
Oh, Monterrey. Yeah, I love that city. It's a beautiful city. I've been there many times. It's a lovely city. Changing quite a bit every time I go.
Yes, yes, it's changing a lot.
Okay, tell me why you think the English are always winning this sport.
I'm not sure, but I think they practice better than we do.
Okay, but you're gonna get there, right? You're gonna give them a hard time, right?
That's right.
Thanks for talking to us. Enjoy your lunch.
Thanks.
Tell us your name, sir, and where you're from. David?
My name is David Walker. I'm from Western Kentucky.
How's your shooting going so far?
Oh, I'm having a great time. Weather's good, you know. I've only shot 2 events, but we've got a couple more days to go, so we're here for the duration.
All right, tell me why the English always win this.
Oh, I think probably they invented the game, probably. They've been at it longer, and they probably shoot a little more difficult targets on a daily basis than what we do.
All right, well,
that's my guess.
No, that's a fair answer. I'll let you have your lunch. Thanks for talking to us, David. We're going to go over the scoreboard, and we'll be right back. Man.
Good, James. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. Nice.
How was the flight over?
Yeah, long, but it's been good. It's been a good trip so far. The weather's lovely and just a little windy, but you can't odds that. Same for everybody.
Okay, all right, very good. But you're here. You know, the British have always won this. Every single time that has come on, the British have won. What is the edge that you have over Americans?
I don't know. I think the gap is definitely closing. You've got a lot of shooters over here now that are capable of winning it. And, I think that it's just a case of it being a matter of time before it happens. I don't think that the gulf is that wide. I mean, at the end of the day, you came into the sporting discipline quite a long way behind, or the en masse came in quite a long way behind, the European shooters. So we were always going to have probably a 5 or 10 year start on you. Your course design over here has got better. The way people look at targets has got better. It's just a matter of time now before the button clicks and away you go. And I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great for the sport in general when it does happen. I shot 100 straight here in, I think it was 98 in the first day of the World Championships, and shoot 100 straight in the first day of the World Championships when it hadn't been done before. you know, it's a great memory to take with you.
Oh, well, you've won this 7 times, correct?
This trophy, this particular trophy is, you know, it's probably 7 times.
Yeah, this trophy started in '95. So,
that's right, yeah.
Right. Okay, so you don't think there's a difference in the way they're setting the targets here as opposed to the way they set the targets in the UK when you're there?
This is probably one of the most open stands we've shot, where I've just shot here. And, you know, a lot of these targets, because they haven't, you know, you don't want them flying between so that they're visible in the eye line of the next shooter on the next stand, it sort of tends to be a little bit quartering or incoming, or, you know, so, you know, you don't get quite the big crosses that you would do at home.
We have a little wind.
With the heat, it's a gusting wind. One thing we're not used to shooting is the orange and black rim target. So for us, it's a different picture, you see, because if you at home you either shoot a fluorescent target, a completely orange target, or a black target, or a coloured target, obviously, but you never see a target that combines the two, so black and orange. And when you're looking at it and you're looking at you know, the leads and that sort of thing, and being able to pull away from it, you're almost shooting it as a midi target because you're looking at the orange, but the black's there in your eye line. So,
who do you think's the best competition in America?
I would say sort of Corey Cruz is probably stands as good a chance as anybody.
Yeah, and we spoke to him earlier, and he's pretty intense, and he's looking to win it too. So, I mean, it's going to be a great competition.
Oh, no question.
Thank you very much, George.
My name's George Digweed, and you're watching the American Trigger Sports Network TV show.
You know, this is pretty good information here, actually. Most people don't have the opportunity of actually seeing the British when they're missing and losing. And we are here today watching missing and losing by the Brits. Here we go, one more time. I'm going to have to give this a try. Okay, did you see that hit? That was by an American.